Welcome back. So we talk about the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. It has lashed out at the founder of and CEO of Liliesleaf Trust, Nicholas Wolpe. It was critical after the announcing of the permanent closure of the country's Liberation Monument and accused the government of lack of support. This is Liliesleaf Farm, that is. It served as the secret headquarters and nerve center of the ANC, SACP, Umkhonto Sizwe and the Congress alliance between 1961 and 1963. Vusi Mkhize is the department's Director-General and joins us now. Very good evening to you and thank you so much for speaking to us. Can you just please give us some context to this spat, if I were to call it that? We spoke to Nicholas Wolpe and he said that when they signed that MOU, it was made tacitly clear what the money will be spent on, and it would not be on the basis of what the MOU said, that nobody had any objections. What is your response to this?
I think that, thanks very much and good evening, Zepi, and to your viewers. Thank you for the opportunity. I think it will be devious of him to say that, because the only way you can account for the state funds and the public funds is based on the proposal that he submitted, and then the MOU that is signed, and the report that he submits thereafter. Then we pay. So that would have been, anyone who would have agreed on that would have been colluding on a fraudulent transaction of the state funds. And I don't think that would have been the right thing to do, even for himself. To even argue in that way is just contradictory to the values of the very people that Liliesleaf are honoring.
So I pushed him on that, and I said that it would be against the PFMA, and he said, well, he is very willing to admit and has been transparent about the fact that they were never going to use the money for that they were going to use the money for operations, and that this was told to the department as the ones who were providing the funds, saying that he was able to account for the money. Can you confirm that? Was there a discussion with the...
I mean, why are we in this space, if that was the case? Was it would have accounted, we would have indeed released the 900,000 that is missing, that we have not yet provided. We would have released the 1.8 million that we committed to also provide. The fact of the matter is that even what he is calling a report, in fact, it's what he submitted as a progress report at the time, talking to about 2 or so million rand, which also again was not talking to the progress in relation to the commitment to improve the exhibition center. It was so even the closeout report we still don't have it, and therefore then he can't say he accounted when you firstly don't use money for the intended purpose, and you are saying you intentionally misled people, yourself and those who were signing the MOA with you, when you knew very well that in fact you intended to use money for a different purpose.
Okay.
Why would you do that?
So in a period of 13 years, you were giving funding to Liliesleaf Farm to the tune of 70 million rand. The MOU that was signed was in 2015. Why are you at this point now? Is there no due diligence that is practiced, no auditing that is done?
The very reason why we have not paid him is because when we receive the reports from any of the beneficiaries, we would have to scrutinize whether it is in compliance with the conditions, obligations, and responsibilities of a party. So there was adequate due diligence. That is why, even at this stage, we know that he has not accounted for what he signed the money will do. And that is why this has been dragging since 2015 and December, because only thing we are asking of him, please, Mr. Wolpe, you signed an MOA. Can you do the honorable thing? Report on what did you use the money for in relation to what the MOA states.
So what steps are going to be taken? I hear your appeal to him, but we would like to know as a public what steps are going to be taken. Has there been a meeting set up? Are there going to be more investigations? Could it end up being a criminal matter?
We do have to hold him accountable for that if he fails. But what happened in the meantime was that the minister then escalated the matter with the board in the meeting on which I was present on the 4th of May to request the board to say, please, can you attend to this? Because this, the Liliesleaf is a crucial, significant site for us in heritage. Now we are having an obstacle whenever we need to provide support and funding. We cannot because the CEO has not yet submitted a report and accounted for the monies used for the purposes it was intended. So the board, fortunately, then undertook to conduct the forensic investigation, and I am sure they have done that. They have honored that. They will be processing it, and then they will come to us. All we want to assure South Africans is that we will do everything we can in our power within the prescripts of this country in terms of the law to keep supporting Liliesleaf. It will not close. He might have this gymnastics he's doing now, trying to blackmail us, to turn a blind eye. He has to account. Once that is done, if not, the board is already working on the matter, and the only way we can deal with it now.
Mr. Mkhize, is there a timeline for this? Because this matter goes back to 2015.
Yes, that's why we escalated, because we could see that it was tracking, and then the board have already concluded on their forensic investigation. In my understanding, according to the board's media statement yesterday, and my conversation with one of the board members, was that indeed they've received the report, they are processing the report, and on Monday they are likely to then take South Africans into confidence on what's going on, and then thereafter they will come to us with recommendations on what actions are they instituting, and then we look at that, and we made a commitment to the board, and we will not backpedal on that commitment, that if things are such that we are able to resolve them while dealing with this issue to support the Liliesleaf, we will do so while we're dealing with this matter.
Okay.
He has to account for the money.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Vusi Mkhize is the Director-General at the Department of Arts and Culture.